Good evening, listeners, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Fear the Queer,
a podcast that talks about everything on our gay agendas. I'm Kyle.
And I'm Josh.
And on today's episode, we will be giving a film review about the 1967 documentary called
The Queen.
Yes.
Starring Helen Mirren.
Isn't that just Queen?
No, it's The Queen.
Oh, it's The Queen?
Yeah.
Wait, what did you watch?
What? Did I watch the wrong movie? Do we have to go back?
I will. Can I tell them what you texted me?
What? Oh, yeah.
Josh was like, I think we should review The Crown.
Yeah.
And I was like, the Netflix show, The Crown? I mean, I've watched like the first 3 episodes, but I'm not really into it. And then I was like, did you mean The Queen? But
same thing, whatever.
Same thing. But before we get into the heart of our gay agenda, Josh, what are we drinking tonight?
We are drinking coffee because we are both exhausted from our weekend.
We're so sleepy.
Yes.
Cheers, queers.
Okay.
So, before we get to the heart of our gay agenda, we are doing another segment of
Read My Rainbow,
in which we talk about something happening in our queer little lives, and the other reads us for it. So, Josh.
Yes.
Like I always ask, would you like to begin or would you like me to begin?
And because I always know the answer of what you prefer, you may go first.
Okay, I guess I can be the first to go. I guess I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
So, this past weekend, I was in Michigan for my granny's 85th birthday, which was a lot of fun.
3 years younger than you?
3 years younger than me. We have very interesting. Our family tree just goes up in one stalk. It doesn't branch out.
Yeah.
No, so I was in Michigan for the weekend, but unfortunately, her brother passed away.
Oh, I'm
on
sorry.
her birthday.
Did you do it on purpose?
Maybe. No. My granny was like, why do you have to die on my birthday? But I was like, it was okay. Like, we knew he was gonna go. And
Was
it's very
he from
sad.
Michigan?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. What do you mean?
You guys knew? Like, he was there at the birthday?
No.
Oh.
He passed away on my granny's birthday, and the next day we went in for her birthday.
Oh.
Like, for a birthday. I call it the Granny Palooza. Mm-hmm. And so we get there.
The Granny Palooza.
And the Granny Palooza.
Were tickets available?
No. And there was a bunch of high and drunk teenagers like Lala. So I always know that when I go into town, I always enjoy having a good time with my family.
Sure.
We eat a ton. Like, literally the first night, I had Red Lobster, and we went back to my granny's and had 2 kinds of cake. And then the next night, I went... Josh is shaking his head.
2 kinds of cake.
Yes, for
1 kind of cake is not enough.
For 8 people. Well, you know what my granny always says?
What?
She'll go, well, what if someone wants that kind of cake? What person? It's the same people every time. She's adorable.
There are 2 types of people, because I also went to Michigan this weekend, which I'll let you get back to your story, but we were all eating dinner, and me and my other friend, who is also Asian, were like eating, and we're like, oh, we're so full, we're so stuffed. And her other friend was just like, you don't have to eat it if you don't want it. And we both just looked at her like, excuse you?
We're like, waste not, want not.
Yeah. Our parents said no.
We ate a lot. Like, on Saturday, my uncle's husband made...
Your who?
My uncle's husband, so my uncle.
Oh, okay, your uncle's husband.
Yeah, he made pork tenderloin and... What?
I just like how you went home for your grandma's birthday, and there was also a funeral involved, and all you're doing is tell me all the food you ate.
Well, we had pork tenderloin and cheesy potatoes. Actually, we had 2 kinds of cake, and then shortbread was brought out.
Ooh, shortbread.
Yeah, that was very good. And then the next day, we had another function, but this time there was 16 people because more of the family came in for the funeral, including my granny's twin, who's... Did you know that I was going to be like, my granny's twin, who also turned 85. It was also her birthday. I know, crazy. So she was up from Indiana.
What a coincidence.
It was wild. It's wild how life kind of happens that way.
Uh-huh.
And that night we had chocolate cake, orange cake.
How's orange cake?
I didn't eat it. It was
Like
something my
carrot
aunt
cake?
made. I think so. Or maybe it was like orange Jell-O. I honestly
Orange soda.
maybe. I honestly, it's very Midwest.
Okay.
Very Midwest. Like there's
like a
so much
Fanta
fucking
symbol
food.
in it.
Yeah, right. It's Faygo.
Yeah.
And then we also had cherry cake. Cherry pie and
It's like, what's with these cakes?
and custard pie.
Okay.
And leftover shortbread.
My God.
And then the next day.
Granny, sis, the
I'm
carbs.
like, no, we eat a lot. We're very Midwest. Like we have like 3 kinds of like salads. Not even 3. We have like a normal like salad with lettuce. And then
I hope lettuce is involved.
then we have you ever have pea salad?
I've heard of it. What's
It's
in
like
it?
so it's like iceberg lettuce and then
Cake.
how'd you know? It's like iceberg lettuce and then peas.
Okay.
As one would assume.
Yeah.
And then you do like a layer of mayo. And then you do cheddar cheese and bacon on top.
That reminds me of like Rachel from Friends when she tried to make like that dessert.
Oh,
and she just like
yes.
this with ladyfingers jam, peas sauteed with onions and beef.
Yeah. And she's like, and then whipped cream and
mayonnaise.
custard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so we had a pea salad, which is like my favorite.
Ew.
Really?
That just sounded so gross.
No.
Like the consistency of peas and mayo.
Oh, girl, no, I'll make it sometime.
Oh God, no.
I kind of want to make it, so I'll eat it.
Should we do a food episode?
That won't be fun for people listening to us eat.
That's true.
Although I would totally just hang out and eat food. What else? We had a pasta salad that has tuna in it, but it had paprika on top. It was so good. There was cheese in that too. And then we had like 3 different kinds of Jell-O, and ham and chicken and
God.
not
For
even
the funeral?
No.
Oh.
This was just Sunday. This was just a gathering. It's a gathering of Midwestern white people.
Your granny was just like, sorry, I just didn't go grocery shopping, so there's not that
That's how she
much."
is. That's how she is. Like one time my dad said he went over to like help her with something and she goes, "Oh, I don't have anything. I didn't make you anything." And out she pulls a pulled pork sandwich and macaroni and cheese. What? She's so
I was
funny.
just storing
It's
this in the
adorable.
cupboard.
Yeah, no. My granny has like frozen turkeys and a ham in her like downstairs
Oh my God.
freezer.
Actually, that's kind of awesome.
Because she never knows. She's like, maybe I want to have a dinner party. She loves doing it.
Okay. She's
She
the
loves
hostess.
and everyone loves her. Granny is like,
Well, yeah, she constantly was pulling out like pulled pork sandwiches
my
like
God,
all over
yeah.
the house. Like,
and she has and
from the lampshade.
this you don't like because you're allergic. But
Oh.
she always has like bowls of nuts and pecans and stuff lying around. I know. I'm probably like exuding some kind of like candied pecan essence or something.
Pecan sweet.
Well, it was like candied.
Oh.
Yeah, or maybe that was pistachio. I don't know what I was eating. I was eating a lot.
It went well with the pea salad.
It went with the pizza. Well, you go back for seconds. You take a little bit of everything, and then you go back and you get more of what you want at one point. So
like a buffet.
So yeah, so her brother. So she's 85. Her brother. She's come
One
from
who died?
No.
Oh.
Another brother.
Okay.
Same mother. She came from a family of 8, or I guess siblings of 8.
Okay.
So her brother, one of them, he was there, and he's 91, or maybe he's 92. Honestly, once you hit a certain point, they're all the same age.
Right.
And he got the dessert, and he had every single cake and pie on his plate. And my granny kind of like nudged my shoulder, and she was like, "Kylie, look." And I look over, and her brother was just kind of like, ooh, kind of like, a little embarrassed. And,
Yeah.
I just look at him and I go, "You know how to live." So we ate a lot. And then after the visitation yesterday, we went to a restaurant. We went to a restaurant, and I had a great Reuben. It was so good, Josh. It was such a good Reuben. And I had mashed potatoes with it. And you're right, you're laughing. I love food. And but you'll be happy. They said you get 2 sides, and I said mashed. I said mashed.
One of them pea salad.
Well, it was mashed potatoes, and then I got a salad for the other. not
watch
a
your
piece salad.
figure.
Because I was like, I'm eating an entire Reuben. And I thought to myself, I said, I could get a turkey Reuben, but instead I got corned beef. Because you know what I thought? I said, I want to save.
What did you think?
I thought I want to save the cows, but I also don't eat a lot of corned beef. So, sorry, Joaquin Phoenix. I needed to eat it.
Yeah.
And then
Joaquin Phoenix has not liked you for a while now. With all the food you've eaten.
Yeah. And then today, I literally, like...
Not figuratively.
Yeah, not figuratively. Literally got out of the car about an hour ago from Michigan. I came back with my uncles, and the funeral was today. And until about a few minutes ago when you came over, I was still dressed in my funeral clothes, which is not the sweatpants I'm wearing right now, believe it or not.
I hope not. I was like, Kyle's just wearing like sweat shorts and a baggy shirt.
I feel so comfy right now. I honestly cannot wait to, because here's the thing. When you're visiting family, you have to go and you have to like wear, this is funny. You have to wear underwear, you know? Like you can't just like wear your basketball shorts and lounge around. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, do you not wear underwear under your basketball shorts?
Not when I'm home alone by myself.
Oh, good
Free
to know.
and easy, sis. Right now, because you're here, I'm wearing underwear.
Thank God.
I'm wearing underwear right now.
I was like, I smell pea salad. What is that?
I keep it in my undies.
Yeah.
But okay, so long story short, also the funeral was great.
It was great.
It was. It wasn't great. I mean, it was great for the account. For
sure.
What happened? He died.
Oh yeah. Plot twist.
Plot twist. But the guest of honor was on time. It was him. And
imagine being late to your funeral.
I am late all the time, so I would be late to my funeral. So we ate today, and I had a chicken piccata, which is chicken.
Oh, and it has like those little like green things on it.
Yes. Capers.
Yes.
I love capers.
Yes. They don't taste like anything.
Yes, they do. They're kind of salty. You know what they are?
Huh.
They are, I feel like I'm being such like a Rain Man today. I'm like, you know what it is? Let me tell you about it. I got knowledge. And it's all about food. They're peppercorns. Yeah, listeners, if you don't know what this is, capers are pickle. Why are you laughing at me? Pickles, God damn it. Capers are pickled peppercorns. And so... And pickling kind of has like a sodium-y... No. Is peppercorn a plant?
Well, I thought capers were like their own little plant thing that you just pick off and eat. I don't know.
I believe they're peppercorns.
Oh.
Pickled peppercorns. So I had that.
Okay.
And we went to this place and it has the best breadsticks. Oh my God. I had like 3. Was
it Olive Garden?
No, it's called this place, the Highland House. But the options, because it was like a wedding. But
when you're here, you're not family.
Yeah, they're like, when you're here, get out.
Yeah.
But it's really good. They have the best breadsticks because they're like buttery and kind of salty. And oh my God. And it's kind of like a wedding. Like we had 3 options. You could either have the fish,
the orange cake, or the pea salad.
Or you're living. We have food, and you know what?
It's just like you make fun of Iowa. Like, what are these foods?
No, I believe that they're like all of the Midwest. The thing that binds us together is our like casseroles. Yeah, it's like these casserole like heavy foods, and I think it's so homey and cozy.
Yeah.
So
fattening.
Long story short, super long story short, I'm so tired, but.
You've been fed good.
I've been fed good. And the real Read My Rainbow, I'm going to have a queer little moment. So we're sitting at dinner, and my family, like, we're pretty open and talkative. And over the roasted the roasted vegetables and the cheesy potatoes. And, oh, my God, we had chutney with the pork. It was so good, Josh.
Oh my God, what was that, breakfast? A midday snack?
No, chutney on pork. It was, well, you could eat it for breakfast. If you, like, cracked an egg with it.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. So we're talking, and long story short, I was discussing something, as one does, and I was telling the table about a story, and I said, does everyone here know what anal beads are? And my granny goes, anal beads? And if your 85-year-old grandmother turns to you and goes, anal beads? What's that?
She's like these ones?
Yeah, right. I was like, Granny, I thought I was going to inherit those. She asked, and I said, oh, it's something that's for the bedroom that pleasures people. And she goes, oh my God. And then I was telling a story about someone I know accidentally opening a box of poppers and having the poppers explode all over them. Of course, I have to look at the table and I say, does everyone know what poppers are? So we...
Wait, what?
What?
A friend just opened a box of poppers?
Well, they thought it was something else.
They forgot the poppers they ordered?
The person who ordered the poppers didn't tell anyone that they were ordering poppers.
Oh.
And then the person it was like at an office. And then
office?
Yes, I know, this story gets even crazier. So my granny goes, what are poppers?
We both work at the same job. What is this?
Right. And so I had... The highlight of the weekend, I think, was explaining to Granny what poppers and anal beads were.
Out of all the food options you just told me, that was the highlight of your weekend.
It was the tastiest moment. So that's my Read My Rainbow. Please proceed, because now I'm hungry.
I was like, I can't even say anything.
Yes, you can.
I'm laughing so hard.
You can, please speak up. Do you want some pea salad? And what's funny is Josh.
Did you get hit on by anybody at home?
Did you offer them the cake? Did you offer them the cake? The cake, I didn't go on Grindr once when I was home. You know why? Because I was bloated to the gods. I'm like, not only am I bloated because I've eaten all this, also I'm here for like a funeral also. Like I stayed an extra 2 days for the funeral. I'll say this, it's kind of wild when you're hanging out with a lot of old people, because at an 85-year-old's birthday party and a 91-year-old's funeral, I was the PYT. I was the pretty young thing.
By default.
Yes! It was like me, my sister, and her boyfriend were like the pretty young things. Also,
the orange cake is like, I beg to differ.
She scoots over. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention, at the funeral home.
I'm so shocked what orange cake is.
I didn't try it. I should have, but I was believe it or not, I was kind of full.
Wow.
I was kind of full. Yeah, I didn't have any... Oh, I know I had some pecan ice cream. Like butter pecan. Oh my God.
Okay. So...
Yeah, please, get me off of this, because I'm gonna eat the microphone at this moment.
Food you've eaten. So, okay. So, listeners, we live in Chicago, obviously, and we go to Sidetrack in Boys Town. And we've gone there, like, many times over years.
Like so many, like 3 times. I'm just kidding.
Well, it's like, we've gone there so many times now that, like, when I walk in, I'm just like, yep. Same old. Like,
yeah, he takes his shoes off at the door.
Yeah. So there's a bartender there. His name is.
Okay.
And I have had the biggest crush on for years.
That's true.
Yes. So is this beautiful Latino man who is always practically naked when he's working. But he has the greatest body. Like his abs are like a washboard abs. He's always.
They're okay.
He's very friendly. Kyle and I do make fun of the fact, though, that he does have, like, slightly dead eyes, and we think it's because he's worked there for so long.
Yeah, they're like shark eyes. Or as our friend Jill, friend of the pod, Jill Conkle says, they're bedroom eyes.
Yeah. So I followed on Instagram for years, and you could let me just say, you can call me Boo Boo the Fool here. Boo Boo the Fool, the clown.
Honestly, Josh is so funny because Tay will post like a picture of him like in tight underwear wearing nothing else or something, or a Speedo.
Right.
And I don't follow because I am a self-respecting person.
Pea salad.
I'm like a self-respecting person who will go on his Instagram and scroll through to look at how handsome he is, and I see little Josh over here commenting on his posts with hard eyes or like the like drooly face or like oh wow, so handsome.
I mean, he is a handsome man. We cannot deny that.
I don't deny that.
Okay, so anyway, long story short, I was creeping on today, and then he posted this weird picture of him from the Mardi Gras party that they had this weekend.
Oh, yeah, that just happened. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I was just like, this is interesting. And I feel like Instagram, you can't really figure out much about people because you can kind of edit what you put out to the world.
Sure.
But Facebook will tell you all the secrets.
Okay, what happened?
So I looked up Facebook, and lo and behold,
Ooh, handsome.
This motherfucker's taken.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So,
No.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure has a girlfriend.
Show me.
So pictures of her on her Facebook, and then when you scroll down, she's been with for a while. There's them kissing at Mardi Gras.
But that's not like a...
There's them at a bar together.
Well, that's Queen.
But it says, always a good time with and that's like their third friend. And then...
I need more proof.
Has a daughter.
Okay, that doesn't mean anything. It's literally just a little girl sleeping on his chest. That could be his niece.
Did you check his Instagram story?
No, because I don't follow him.
It's the same picture in a frame, and it says, "You'll always be Daddy's little girl."
I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
You don't believe it.
I don't.
Why?
I don't believe it. I think he's a homosexual.
So... Okay.
I mean, like, gay people can have, like, kids and stuff. I need more proof.
I don't care about the
You think you're Boo Boo the fool because you thought he was gay and then you think he's straight? I think you're Boo Boo the fool because I think that he's not with her.
This is what love looks like. Is this your partner? My one and only.
I think he's making it like a joke.
Love you, babe, forever and ever. It's by that girl.
Let me see this. I don't know about this.
Kyle's in denial. This is step 2 of the program.
Giselle's... Yeah, block her name, because I don't want people to, find her and send hate. I don't know why a mugshot is her picture. It says she's in a relationship, but with who? Okay, but is this a little girl? That doesn't... Because she has a picture of a little girl. We are being such freaks right now.
Well, he has a girlfriend. I'm not saying that he has the child with her. I'm just saying he has a child. Except, is that the same little girl?
I don't know. I can't tell. Why don't you message him?
I would be like... I gave you lots of heart size on your Instagram the other day. So I feel like you owe me an explanation.
You owe all of us
an explanation.
I think he's a homo.
I don't think so.
I don't know why I pulled my phone out as if I'm connected to him at all.
Is he on Grindr?
No. But am I on Grindr that much? Ever? Sometimes? Yes. I really am not.
So that I am just...
You think that he has a child?
And literally, there was an Instagram picture of him, like, on his story that said, Daddy's little girl. Why would you have that?
Because he couldn't say, like... My niece is great. Or
it's
like
a framed photo.
I don't have a framed picture of me and my nephew, and I don't have a niece. Well, I do, but it's complicated.
But would you frame a picture of your nephew saying "Daddy's little boy"?
Oh God, I have so much I want to say, but I don't want to be rude. Maybe he's not the brightest.
God, I mean that is true.
Like maybe he didn't think that through.
He's just like, there's no consequences with this.
Yeah. And like, what if you posted...
I'm heartbroken. Let me just say, I am heartbroken.
When did you realize that he was in a relationship?
Today. I had a whole Read My Rainbow set up, and I was just like, oh, shit. And then I was just like, well, now I have to talk about this.
I don't know what to say.
I know. It's the end of an era, ladies and gentlemen.
No, I think he's gay.
Kyle's unconvinced.
I'm not... I think you know what we have to do? I think we have to go back to sidetrack.
Yeah.
I think, maybe people would like to find out. Like, if you DM us on Instagram and you're like...
Why don't you meet up with us?
Oh my God.
When we go.
Oh my God. Listeners. No, that sounds scary. Oh my God, they would meet up with us and kill one of us, and it's definitely going to be me.
Why you?
Because I can't run fast. And they're like, we're tired of listening about the food. Yeah. Shut up about food. We don't care about the pea salad. So rude. Now to get to the heart of our gay agenda. I'm still kind of hungry from
Pea
that
salad.
last pea salad. So the heart of our gay agenda today is we are going to be talking about the documentary The Queen. Now, we've heard of RuPaul's Drag Race, we've heard of Paris is Burning, but The Queen was before all of it.
It was even before Stonewall.
Yeah, so it came out in 1967.
Yeah.
It was in New York City, and it's about this Miss All-American Camp Beauty pageant. And it follows the drag queen, Sabrina, and she's kind of the mistress of ceremonies as they're looking for the next, queen to be the leader. And it kind of follows his protege, Harlow.
Yes.
And if Harlow is going to be, the next queen and everything. And it's an hour long, and
It's
very short, and we were able to watch it on Netflix. So if you want to kind of like listen along or whatever, you can pause it right now and go watch it on Netflix. It's only an hour. I think it's like an hour and 6 minutes to be exact. And
yeah, so first of all, let's dive into it here.
yeah,
so
let's dive in.
This was made in 1967, which to me is insane because that was before Stonewall. And it was actually submitted to the Cannes Film Festival.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I know, it's crazy. And I feel like, especially before Stonewall, I feel like queer representation, especially in film, is not very, I don't know. Like, I don't even know. It sounds weird. This makes me sound like a terrible gay, but like, I don't really know much of like gay history before Stonewall.
Well, I was around back then, so no, I feel as though like gay history, queer history, LGBTQ plus, all of that kind of stuff, it was, I think we're focusing on it more post Stonewall, but I would love to even like have a podcast at some point where an episode where we talk about like what the culture was like in America, in the world. Because you can even like go back to the Romans and how gay they were.
Right.
I have a really good book that, not to like take away from the Queen, like little side note here, but it's called The Boys of Fairy Town. The Boys of Fairy Town. And it is by, I actually have it right here. I actually have it right here. It's by Jim Elledge, and it is about the sodomites.
It is a book.
It is a book. So I haven't opened it yet. No, I'm just kidding. I love reading it. It's about sodomites, female impersonators, third sexers, pansies, queers, and sex morons in Chicago's first century. And my uncles gave it to me, and it is really good. I don't know why I have like 3 bookmarks in it. But it talks about how Chicago before basically World War II was not necessarily gay-friendly, but a lot more fluid in how it viewed sexuality and gender, and because it was all like the Columbia Expedition and vaudevillian. So kind of fast forward that to 1967, New York.
Yeah.
We have a lot of people who are kind of like hippies. We have, they talk about...
The counterculture.
The counterculture is kind of beginning. So there's a lot of more fluid understanding of gender and sexuality and creativity and art and performance. And that's kind of where we begin, is Sabrina.
Yes, 24. One of the old... I mean, she unfortunately recently died like 3 years ago here.
She was 24? I thought she said she was 42.
No, she's 24. She was young.
Sabrina was 24?
Yeah. Did you not see her?
I thought she said she was 42.
She's 24.
Really?
Yeah. So anyway,
must have been
Sabrina
out of it.
is like before, like, well, not before, but like she was around before RuPaul. She was before like Lady Bunny.
Paris is Burning,
Yeah,
Divine.
Like, the LaBeijas.
I just got your joke. You just did a Lady Bunny joke.
I did.
Oh my God. At first I was like, no, she was oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
So
you got the bunny.
So Sabrina is a legend in the drag scene, and she was sort of like a mentor to the other girls. And in the documentary, she even said, "Call me mother."
Right.
Which is like, I don't know if that's where the term was originated, but I mean...
Well, it's probably when someone had given birth to someone and the child said, "What should I call you?" Mother.
Call me mother.
And then drag queens were like, same.
The drag queen nurse that's like...
Right. I would love if my nurse as a baby was a drag queen. So It's really fun to watch this documentary because it really shows, it almost feels to me like reality television.
Yeah.
Like we watch reality TV and there's all these confessionals and it's all like,
seems like reality TV.
Well, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't just like,
there's a ghost.
There's a ghost. There's a ghost and he wants my pea salad. No, but there's scenes in The Queen where they're talking in their hotel room and they're getting ready and they're like kikiing and it's this whole thing and they're discussing gender and sexuality and their place in this world when it comes to like,
where do you identify?
How do you identify? Would you ever get sex reassignment surgery? So what little things were you noticing as you watched or like along those conversations that you were like, oh, this is like weirdly progressive for 1967?
Yeah. Well, one, I thought it was really interesting to talk about when they were talking about the draft. And
yes.
Yeah. So they were talking about the draft board and how a lot of them actually were automatically rejected by the U.S. government because they were deemed too feminine.
Yeah.
Like they didn't even have to say they were gay or not. The government was just like, we can't. No, you're good. Like stay home.
Even one of the guys said that he showed up.
Yeah.
And he didn't even say he was gay. The U.S. government was like, honey, you gay.
Yeah.
We're not accepting you into the army. Or the military, that is. And, this is during Vietnam.
Yeah.
But then there was one queen
who actually wrote to the president at the time, which I don't know, like Lyndon B. Johnson, I'm assuming. He wrote to the president saying, like, I don't want to fight, or I don't want to be in the army just because I'm gay. Like, I want to fight for my country and be able to do that. And the president apparently wrote him back saying, hopefully one day we'll be able to get to a place where you can do that. Yes. Now, of course, we fast forward today, and Donald Trump is saying no transgender people can be serving in the military, but we're not going to go there.
Right, and we had Don't Ask, Don't Tell back in the 90s.
Right.
So the documentary continues, and we see all the queens get ready. They're preparing to perform. They're doing dance numbers. They're getting their wigs together.
And it's very much like a pageant. Like it's just
very much
the swimsuit competition, the speech, the dancing, the singing. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Gowns.
They even have like a choreographed dance number.
Beautiful
with,
gowns.
What is that? The can-can? Like
yes, the can-can. And there's even like some little like drama. Whether that drama was made for the documentary. Do you know what I'm talking about? So at one point,
part of it
the main character,
kind of
the main character Harlow, who is kind of like destined to win, starts to have a meltdown because she doesn't have a wig, and they're trying to find a fall. And those of you who don't know what a fall is, it's a 1960s hairdo. Google it. So she's having a meltdown, and she's like thrown herself on the bed, and they're like, Harlow, darling, Harlow. Actually, aren't they calling her by her other name, Richard?
Yeah.
They're like, Richard, stop this. It's like sassy queens, like, stop it. And Harlow's like, no.
And like Harlow's crying into, I think, Sabrina's.
It's just so dramatic.
And they're like, she's like, I want them all to leave. And the person who's like, they will. Just give them a minute. Yeah. You calm down. Everyone out.
Yeah, it's so dramatic.
But like everyone's kind of talking with this like inflected voice of just like, everyone out of the room.
As if neither of us talk like that today.
Fear the queer.
Fear the queer. I feel as though we've just kind of evolved.
But we're totally unscripted.
We're unscripted, unfiltered, adulterated fun.
Yes.
Actually, I didn't have any cake today, so
that's why I said unfilled with cake.
Unfilled with that. Cake. Oh, speaking of random, my granny and Rihanna have the same birthday.
Pisces queens.
Yeah. So in this documentary, we see a lot of that kind of like very intense, very intimate, behind the scenes look of queer men at the time.
Yes.
And
side note, really quickly. Pepe LaBeija was also featured in the film. And for those of you who don't know who Pepe LaBeija is, she was the founder.
Crystal LaBeija.
Crystal LaBeija.
Crystal, darling.
Crystal LaBeija. Oh my God, excuse me. She was featured in the documentary. She is the founder of the LaBeija house, who Pepe later took over and is seen in Paris is Burning.
In Paris is Burning.
Full circle!
Full circle. So as the documentary continues, you get to the final few queens, and spoiler alert, Harlow wins.
Which did seem kind of rigged.
It seemed kind of rigged.
Even
rigor mortis, girl. Rigor mortis.
Even when I was watching, I was just like, really?
Well, I knew that she won because the iconic scene of Crystal LaBeija losing her shit.
Yeah.
Basically being like, darling, Harlow, she's beautiful, darling, but she's not beautiful tonight.
Look at her makeup. It's terrible.
Like, it literally is Aja from
Aja, yeah.
RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah.
Going after Valentina. So the end of the documentary is, Harlow does win, and Harlow goes to the bus station with her crown, and that's the end. Kind of anticlimactic, but I love that. I don't know if it's the gays that bring in the drama, or if it's drag queens, or if it's because there's a camera on them. But we look at this documentary, and then you fast forward to 1990 when Paris is Burning comes out.
Which is, like, insane. 22 years passed.
Right, and you can see how language and culture and drag and, Paris is Burning isn't just drag, it's also ballroom culture. So it's
evolved even from
thank you.
The pageantry world of drag. Like, now you have like the deep underground ballroom scene where it's just like it's grittier. It's like people are taking more risks with their drag. People have a wider vocabulary. It's
become this counterculture that until 1990 and until basically, Madonna, if you watch season 2 of Pose, kind of tries to bring voguing into mainstream culture. Mm-hmm. So it is very interesting to kind of see this evolve in such a dynamic way, and also to see how the Queen is kind of seen as preliminary, these are gay people. These are drag queens, and then Paris is Burning is even more in depth into how society was treating Black and brown people that were gay in the ballroom scene.
Right.
To
the intersectional racism and what's the word I'm looking for? Prejudice.
Prejudice,
at the time.
And then you fast forward to even now, 2009 to now, RuPaul's Drag Race. Yeah. And basically, if we look at this, these are
three major stepping stones of drag culture that you could look at in terms of a timeline of this is how it has evolved over years. It's crazy. Even watching The Queen tonight, I was kind of shocked at just how relevant it still kind of is today.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I mean? Like the pageantry world of drag, and how some of the concepts of it still apply even on RuPaul's Drag Race. You can see Ru influenced by drag.
100%. Like RuPaul is RuPaul, but Miss Sabrina.
RuPaul is RuPaul?
RuPaul is RuPaul.
RuPaul.
RuPaul's name is actually Ben. E in the Jets.
Medina.
Yeah. Medina.
Benny Medina.
Oh, Benny Medina. Yeah. I thought you said Medina, and I was like, who's Methuselah? God, she would. Honestly, RuPaul would turn you to stone. Yeah, she's kind of scary.
Yeah.
But we had Sabrina first. So it's very interesting, and I mean, maybe I'm just kind of glib to this, but I didn't know that much about the Queen, and I feel like I'm probably still going to be discovering. Mm-hmm. But the documentary itself, I think, is important in context to a counterculture, which is drag being put into, I guess, mainstream, or being trying to be put into mainstream audiences' viewpoints.
Well. Yeah, because the Queen was submitted to Cannes back in the day. But other than that, it didn't really get much recognition. And Sabrina actually was arrested twice for trying to promote the film for it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's crazy to think about that. Just over 50 years ago, there were so many laws against, quote unquote, cross-dressing or female impersonation or impersonating a gender that they deemed that you weren't.
Well, they even said
homosexuality.
They even call themselves that in the film at a couple points, female impersonators, and it's oh. I have not heard that term in a while.
Right? Yeah, and I mean, I feel like that's still kind of you. Yeah,
I mean, it's still very much a thing, but it's just it's such an old-fashioned way of saying it. I feel like now,
right?
That you're just oh my god, this is so long ago.
And you know what? Take a shot every time we say complete side note, because I feel like we're saying that a lot.
Complete side note.
Complete side note. I realized I had seen scenes from the queen before in the opening credits of Transparent, the show on Amazon.
Oh.
Yeah, so
do you know anything of like why the film was just kind of like pushed away?
probably homophobia.
But
Wouldn't that just be like the like usual answer though? I mean,
I guess, yeah.
There could have been like a funding issue. There could have been.
But it wasn't restored until last year.
The gays have money now.
It's crazy because like they actually restored it last year.
It does look beautiful,
And that's why
it's very
it's
easy to
able to
watch.
be on Netflix now.
Yeah, like I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was very eye opening, and also I don't know, maybe I'm just like weird, but like as a queer
Yes.
person, yeah, that's undoubtedly true. But as a queer person, it's kind of nice when you have like little kind of time capsules of history of other queer people, because it's like a nice reminder, like, oh, we've always been here. We're not. This isn't nothing. This isn't anything new. Like RuPaul's Drag Race or being gay or anything like that, or you know, you see these queer people and they're all meeting up, and I mean, I'm not promoting smoking, but they look so glamorous, like with their cigarette hanging off their lips and their like low sunglasses and a black turtleneck. They're like total like beatnik like Greenwich Village like
Well,
types.
other than like actual obvious like things that date the film, like their clothes and everything like that. If you put The Queen and Paris is Burning side by side as a double feature, I would have been like, oh yeah, like this is
that would be a good double feature too.
To me, it would be like, oh, this seems like a great like I don't know, like they seem like they almost are like
they complement each other. I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think they complement each other. I mean, Paris is Burning.
I can't talk.
It's okay. We've had a long day. I've eaten lots of food.
Yeah.
And you found out that your heart's broken.
I know. Anyway, so what I thought was really cool is that I was trying to think of like the girls from RuPaul, because obviously they're like a very easy option of like who would be able to like be in a pageant back then.
Yeah, so they definitely really focused on feminine looking queens, or trying to pass, and I use that loosely.
Yes.
Pass as cisgender women, which that again is such a loaded term. So bear with me, listeners.
I do feel like, I feel like it's in context of like at the time frame of this.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's in context. They wanted to look as though
as like
1960s like housewife debutante pageant kind of women,
like Barbarella's. Like
was there any looks that you liked from the film?
I actually did like Peppa's look. Not Peppa, Crystal.
Wait, Peppa Pig was in it?
I know. Every time I say Peppa, I'm like Peppa Pig.
Peppa Pig is going to come for you. She is one of our listeners.
She's whistling.
Crystal's was really good. I liked
Crystal's
eyebrows.
I kept staring at them.
You were just
they
like,
were perfect, like little half moons.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see how they do their makeup too, because it's definitely evolved. Over the past 52 years.
All of their makeup stopped right before their hairline. And I was just like, ooh, God.
Because they're like taping down. There's a lot of like falls and teasing and bangs.
Yes.
They're very into the bangs.
The bangs. I got bangs,
so I'm Miss Cool now. I loved, there was this one look, and there was two wigs I really liked. And one was, it was like a bob, but it was kind of like looped up and kind of like stacked. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
It was kind of like on like a little bit of a curvier queen. And I think it was the queen who wouldn't do, another spoiler, wouldn't do the swimsuit competition.
Oh, yeah.
But instead just like walked out in like a black gown and I was like, hello. And I was like, that's me.
Yeah.
And the other was, in the beginning of the pageant, one of the queens had like a light pink wig. And it looked kind of cool. And it had like kind of like some silver sparkles on it. If we can find screen caps of this.
Yeah, we'll post some pictures
We'll post them, yeah. Or if, you're listening to this and you're like, oh, here's some good photos. Please, we're lazy. So, out of 10, what would you give this film?
9. I would say. It's not nearly as polished or perfected as Paris is Burning, but I feel like Paris is Burning is a very rare masterpiece.
I give it a 9.5.
Yeah. I felt like it ended kind of like abruptly. Yeah.
I mean,
because like Crystal goes on her like long rampage. It's like
there's like all this drama.
Just like you you were rigging the competition. Look at her makeup and yada yada yada. And then
I will say, poor Harlow is just like sitting there, just like looking like a beat up puppy.
I know, she's like kind of in tears. She's like, oh, okay.
To be fair, your makeup was terrible.
Her makeup was terrible. I'm not gonna lie,
it was okay. We've gotten better in makeup.
Yes, makeup has...
There's a lot of, like, little witchery and magic tricks I think people have developed over the past, couple decades.
Well, okay, so this brings up a topic in RuPaul's Drag Race that I always like. It's, like, I think it's season 5, where Alaska and Jinx are, like, more of, like... They have, like, an alternative style of drag. Like, Jinx is a comedy queen.
Sure.
Alaska likes to play with, like... kooky concepts. Yeah. She's like the garbage queen and stuff like that. Yeah. And then you have the traditional pageant queens of Roxy and Alyssa, Coco, and all of them. And they're just like, oh, they can't do glamour. They can't do this and stuff like that. And it's just interesting to see how drag, even in like almost like real time over the years, has changed into like more alternative girls. And then you see season 12 queens. None of them would be in a pageant back,
None of them. Well, maybe... even the handful that I would go like, oh, she could be a pageant. Like Gigi Good, gorgeous.
Yeah.
But her style has some edge to it.
Yeah.
But but I feel like drag also has changed with society. Like as like cliche and
for sure.
That is. But like they were just, I don't want to say mimicking, but they were just performing what they saw around them. And I think
especially in terms of like in the 60s, like pageant girls. Yeah, that was like the epitome of like what a woman should be.
Yeah, I think now because femininity, gender, it's all kind of like mushed together, and we have the feminist dialogue and intersectionality, and it's just it's all
pea salad,
pea salad, and
like
orange
big
cake.
Casserole
It's just
of queerness.
Oh my god. It's a big casserole of queerness. Literally, these 3 topics of the queen, layered with Paris is Burning, and sprinkled on top with
onions
cheese
and peas and beef,
and beef, and RuPaul is a casserole of American drag in the 20th century.
21st. Well, now.
Oh yeah, 20th to 21st.
Yeah,
is sprinkled in the 21st. Yeah. So. Dig into that casserole.
Yes. So both Paris is Burning and The Queen is on Netflix, and I really think you should watch both, especially Paris is Burning. I cannot say this enough.
Yeah, I Paris is Burning. I mean, we're talking about The Queen, but Paris is Burning is one of my favorite movies of all time. I watch it every couple months.
Yeah.
Just to feel something. And
just to feel alive again.
Just to feel alive again. And just get it into your dialogue, get it into your vocabulary of this is what drag, performance, queerness is. Because it is history.
It is. And I felt like, well, okay. And then let's bring up a topic. We went to Black Girl Magic last Wednesday.
We did! Yes, if you are in Chicago, you need to get your ass out to Black Girl Magic, which is...
hosted by the Vixen.
The Vixen.
MC'd by the Vixen. Like...
produced
by the Vixen,
starring
craft food services by the Vixen.
Wait, there was food? Girl. But I will go on record and say it is one of my favorite drag shows currently in Chicago.
Oh, it was by far one of my favorite ones to watch.
It is so well produced. Every queen is so well curated, and they have their own style and their own performance, but it all feels like it's a group. And
I was gonna say, but they still kind of flow well together. Like, there's like a seamless flow of like one performance to another, even though they all had very different styles. And we took our friend for the very first time to, actually, was it both their first drag shows?
Well, I know it was one of their first. It was her first time.
Yeah.
Was it his first time?
I don't know. But anyway.
Did we pop 2 cherries that night?
I don't know. I can't remember. But the one I know for sure that we popped her cherry, she was having a blast.
And is now currently watching RuPaul's Drag Race.
See what queer people can do for you.
See, the world is...
See, straight people.
I always thought that we could be allies to the straights.
Well, I feel like I could. I don't know if you could.
I've gotten so much better. I've gotten so much better.
Kyle has no tolerance for y'all.
I don't have any tolerance for anyone, period.
That's true.
Let's be real. As I gotten older, my patience is wearing thin, which I am not.
Yeah. So let's close out on a few things. I'm going to say a few films that I've still not seen that I feel like I should.
Like queer films that you should watch. Okay.
Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
Same.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
No.
Oh, that's our next film.
Maybe that'll be our next film review.
Oh, that's our next film review. Have you seen Tu Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie
yes,
Newmar?
I have seen that.
Apparently, this is the American equivalent to Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
Oh, okay, work.
Yeah, so you have seen a little bit of it.
I've seen a little bit of it.
There's a small film called Brokeback Mountain. No, I'm kidding.
That would be one to revisit, though.
We were talking about that one time. Do you remember that? How to revisit it now to see how it holds up.
Ooh.
I mean, Jake Gyllenhaal is still sexy.
Are we having a brainstorm session?
He bent over with a can of beans up his pussy. Did you see that tweet?
I saw that,
Yeah.
and in my head, wait, was it Jake Gyllenhaal?
Yeah.
Do we know who the top and who the bottom was in that?
Heath Ledger
Or was it? Was what?
the top
Oh. How do you know?
because we
Is that in his Grindr profile? He was like, I'm into yeehaw culture.
Yeah. I've also I haven't seen too many of John Waters' films.
I have pink flamingos in my closet as we speak. In my closet, I have all my DVDs, so it's not just like
They're tucked away in the closet.
They're in the
Interesting.
closet.
Your queer films are in the closet.
no, all my films are in the closet. I have all my films in the closet, but I will say that I do have a baby doll head underneath my TV.
Yes. It's like that baby doll head from Toy Story.
You're living for it.
Did you know that Sabrina also makes a cameo in Pink Flamingos?
What? Now I need to rewatch it. How do
Yeah.
you know this?
It's said in one of her, like, it's the Wikipedia article I read about her.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, we're just going to bust it out now and watch it. Okay, bear with us. We're going to have another hour and a half of us watching Pink
So
Flamingos.
instead of, like, you know how Oprah has, like, movie, or, like, she has book club?
Oh, she has book club, yeah.
Yeah, we should have, like, movie club.
Oh, movie club, like queer movie club.
Yeah.
Okay, movie I have not seen that's like kind of queer canon. But I'm a cheerleader.
Oh, you haven't seen?
I have not seen that yet.
Oh my God, RuPaul's in it.
Oh my god.
Natasha Lyonne,
See, I know it's Natasha Lyonne, which I love.
Clea Duvall.
She's great.
Queer icon.
Who's that? Who's Clea Duvall?
Clea Duvall is she's an act. Fuck, I'm blanking. Have you seen American Horror Story Asylum?
Yes.
Do you remember the school teacher who the killer kills in like the first 2 episodes? And she was Sarah Paulson's lover.
Yes.
Yeah, that's Clea Duvall.
What?
Not
Okay.
Chloe Sevigny.
Chloe Sevigny.
But I'm a cheerleader. Oh, it's such a cute.
See that's
movie.
like a queer movie I have not seen.
I want to revisit my own Private Idaho. I have not seen that in a long time.
Oh, you know what's so weird with Joaquin winning the Oscar? I was like thinking about River.
Oh, I wish I had a river.
Listen, Joni. Listen, Joni.
Joni Mitchell.
Oh, you know who I miss?
Who?
Joni Mitchell. We should have her over for coffee.
Yeah, I was like, did she die?
I don't think she died.
Okay, well, you said I miss Joni. I was like,
no,
oh my
I
God.
just miss listening to her and
Yes. Okay,
Having time.
so you kind of just listened to us kind of talk out in real time that we're going to do a movie club soon. So prepare
I think we're
for
gonna do
that.
a movie club.
Yeah.
I think is this okay? Whatever episode this is, we're saying we're going to do a movie club. Maybe like once a month we'll watch a movie.
I think so too.
Hopefully we'll watch the same one and we'll watch the right.
We'll watch the same one.
We'll watch like
Helen Mirren.
maybe you know what, or The Crown.
Yeah.
When you texted me that like, oh, we're watching The Crown, I was like, the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
I literally got my anxiety went through the roof because I was like,
I have to watch a whole season.
I have to watch a whole 3 seasons?
Yeah.
I was like, how am I supposed to do that? And I was like so ready to just be like, all right, I'm Googling all this information.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be Then I realized he just meant the Queen.
Yeah. So to everyone out there, watch this in this order: The Queen, Paris is Burning, and then season 5 of RuPaul's Drag Race, and you'll see like this nice little timeline of drag over the years and what it's kind of evolved into. And then even after season 5 of RuPaul, things have changed up so much since then even.
Oh yeah, terminology has changed. How we
Yes.
view drag has changed, and that was like what
11?
14
Oh,
season 5.
yeah, 2012, something like that.
Well, because I think wasn't 2012 season 3.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyway.
I don't know.
Everything's on Netflix and Hulu. And then give us your comments. Give us your reviews. Give us what you've learned throughout the movie. And...
Yeah,
anything,
what I'm kind of thinking now, I'm like, we're throwing this out there to you listeners. Like, what films or media kind of got you into specifically drag?
Yes.
Like, if you're into drag or if drag intrigues you, like, what was like your first like...
Sorority boys.
Well, you know what mine was?
What?
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh, yeah.
Came out in 93. I think I said this last episode.
You did.
Came out in 93. When did I watch it? 93. How old was I? Don't say it. 3 years old.
I was like 40.
He was about to say 40. And that was like my first like drag thing. Oh, Some Like It Hot. Also drag.
Some Like It Hot. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a cute one. Oh,
That
I
is
like
a cute
that one. Oh, I like that.
Cute little story before we leave. Kyle, our friend Jill from the America's Next Top Model episode, and I watched Some Like It Hot one night in winter, like 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And we made Cosmos, and Kyle did not like my Cosmo.
Oh, my word. Let me say. Okay, so how you make a Cosmo is I was like, we're bartenders, and I'm like, is vodka, triple sec, lime juice.
Yes.
And do you shake or do you stir? I stir.
I stir it. But I also don't use lime juice. I use fresh squeezed limes.
Oh, that's what I mean. Like, fresh. I don't use the sweetened stuff.
No. And then I only add a little bit of cranberry juice for color.
Oh, God.
That's what I was taught.
I don't think that you're wrong.
Yes.
I don't think you're wrong. I think that because Josh literally does not put any cranberry juice in. It's literally like an eyedropper of cranberry juice. And
it needs to be a light pink color.
Okay, but I drink it really fast. Because I was like, ooh, a Cosmo. And then I drank it and I was like, okay, I want another though. Maybe that's just me.
Well, if you want another, it shouldn't be that bad.
I know, but I wanted more cranberry, and Josh said, no, I'm making the Cosmos tonight. Go sit in the living room with Jill and watch Some Like It Hot. And then we thought we should do a podcast together.
And now the listeners are like, oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, good reason.
Yeah. So anyway, I hope you liked our little mini movie review of The Queen. And trust me, we will have many more in the future here, since we just kind of thought it up as we were talking out loud.
Yeah, I think half the time, like, you and I, like, we have our outlines of what we're going to talk about. And then we just kind of get going and we get to chatting. And then we realize
we have not talked about anything on our outlines.
On my outline, I was going to talk about food. So I did achieve that.
Yeah, there we go.
So if you want to contact us, we say this every episode. You can go on and you can email us at fearthequeerpodcast@gmail.com. But more likely, we will be on Instagram. So follow us at Fear the Queer Podcast on Instagram.
Or like us on Facebook. Just search in Fear the Queer Podcast. And then you can also make sure to subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and SoundCloud. And please, give us ratings.
Rate, subscribe, and write cute little comments.
Yes,
like, I like seeing comments. Even if you're like, shut up. I'm like, oh my God, they wrote something. Log off, sis.
Yeah.
If you write, Kyle's canceled and Josh is on his way to be, we'll be so excited.
Yeah.
But still give us 5 stars. Like, please. I don't want, I didn't grow up with a lot. And I just think that...
Like your Uber driver, just make sure to give us 5 stars.
Give us 5 stars, and I promise never to talk to you again.
Yeah.
Just like Uber.
Yes. And as always, I was about to say I'm Kyle, because you started off.
Oh my God. Are you me tonight?
I guess.
You're welcome.
And as always, I'm Kyle.
And I'm Kyle.
And we're Fear the Queer.
Fear the Queer.
Damn. All right, let's try it one more time. I'm
Kyle.
And I'm Josh. And we're Fear the Queer. Bye. You just like the fact that we're both Kyle, don't you?
I do. It's a good person to be.